Now before we actually get into the video, I want to invite you guys to support me on Ko-fi. You can financially support me by just putting in a little bit of donations. A lot of that is going toward either just supporting me financially, or it can go toward, you know, this channel for future cosplays. We'll see how it goes. If you have an extra dollar to throw my way, that'd be great. Alright, let's get the video started. As you can see, the normal backdrop isn't in at the moment. And well, just because frankly I didn't want to set it up because, you know, face shell video like I'm doing last time. So what I'm doing, I'm having the suits up with little decorations to make the background a little bit more ingestible. Welcome back to Brekke Cosplay, and this time we are going to be talking about the Marvel Spider-Man face shell from animated costumes on Etsy. What is a face shell? Now, I'm going to keep this short because I've already had a better explanation and it's still readily available, and I don't feel like repeating that information but in a worse way or just make it seem redundant. So if you are interested in knowing what a face shell is, you can go to that video. It'll be the icon wherever the icon is, but it is to give the Spider-Man his accurate face shape and smoothing out all of the edges. While there are different types of face shells, the main type that we are going to be talking about is the face shell with modular lenses. The same type that it's going to be featured in this video. With all that out of the way, let's actually look at the face shell.
You did the impossible, Doc.
This face shell is, I'm assuming, 3D printed and colored in all black. It's meant to go under the mask, so as long as you can't see the actual shell, I don't think it's really a problem, I guess. And I don't even think that's the face shell's problem at that point. And it does its job well enough. So I'm not going to focus too much on aesthetics. Shape-wise, comparing it to the advanced suit, which is based off of, while I like the shape, the one thing I'm not a fan of is the nose placement. It's a little bit too realistic of a shape. And how is that a problem? Well, let's compare it to the actual game. By taking a look at the actual game, you can see that the face is a little bit more squished in with his nose riding a little bit closer to the eyes. While on this face shell, it takes more of a realistic face shape route. It took me a little bit to point out exactly what was off about it, but as soon as I noticed it, I really just couldn't unsee it.
Let's be completely honest here. The average person isn't going to even notice something as small as that. But for me, I don't know, man. For me personally, I'm just a perfectionist type of person where I just like to have things as accurate to what they're trying to portray as closely as possible. So for me, this is going to get some points deducted from that goal.
Moving on to the lenses themselves are painted in a black matte finish, in which I wish they would have gone for more of a glossy finish to make it more accurate with the actual suit, quote unquote, itself. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the matte can get very noticeable when it doesn't blend in as much as I would like it to, especially when I put puff paint right next to it. The lenses also have a gray mesh with a dome plastic on top of it, in which I'll go more into the quality and functionality section of the review, but as far as presentation goes, I think they visually look fine. While I can understand not using white, I just personally wish that they were more screen accurate mesh to go over the frames, but clearly they went with these to prioritize functionality over aesthetics.
Like most face shells, we're going to be focusing on the quality and functionality of it, so I apologize if it doesn't feel like I didn't give as much as I usually do on the aesthetics and presentation of it. But honestly, just for this, there isn't really that much to go over. I think I got everything.
So let's talk about comfortability. So I have two other face shells to compare it to, so I apologize if that's not big enough of a sample size for you. You can't really blame me, these things are expensive. This is super narrow, and I mean, it's expected. So with me being a person who has a wider shaped head, it's a lot harder for me to get comfortable in this and being able to emote. So it left on my face feeling a bit stiff under the mask. So it also doesn't help with my chin absolutely having no room to move, so the mask is pretty much a perfect fit, but it's too perfect to a fault. So perfect, in fact, that I could put on this face shell without a mask over it and it will not fall off my face.
It's a little hard to see, but you can see I've added some cushions on some very specific pressure points to the shells on my face. So out of the box, this is pretty uncomfortable, but that's kind of expected with plastic.
Let's get into breathability. It has plenty of holes that will allow for good ventilation. After wearing the mask for hours, I can definitely say that I didn't feel much, if any, fatigue after any shortness of breath that wasn't already being restricted by having a cloth over my face.
And honestly, coming from someone who loves to wear a mask, weight can be a huge deal, especially when you're wearing it for a long period of time.
When talking about the magnets themselves, there are 8 magnets on it, 4 on the face shell itself, and then 2 on each lenses. Now, these magnets are quite powerful, and even with fabric on, unlike the last face shell review, if you watch that, it does not feel like it takes any extra effort to align them into place, which I think is a plus. In regards to the gray meshes, as I mentioned earlier, they do prioritize functionality over aesthetics. And while, yeah, like I said, I would have appreciated white lenses, I can understand where they're coming from with this, and for functionality wise, they are I can see better in these lenses and probably in the other 2 lenses, just because the meshes are a lot easier to see through, and when light hits them, it doesn't really blind me at all.
In terms of functionality, these are great. You can see through them just fine, and
overall, I found the build quality to be immaculate. It's very sturdy, and I don't feel like it's going to fall apart as soon as I drop it. Even with all the holes for ventilation, the structure isn't compromised.
so all in all, I spent $150 on this face shell. The ordering process was pretty simple. While not 100% accurate to the actual game's face shape itself, it's not really bad, and it does the job well enough that 99% of people are not going to notice that little inaccuracy, right? So the lenses, much like the shell itself, also are a little lacking in regards to presentation and accuracy, but honestly, it makes up for it when this takes functionality and quality in priority over to aesthetics, because what is a face shell if it's not usable? So overall, this is still going to get a recommendation for me. If you can spot a sale, even better. I know $150 is not a small amount of money, but honestly, I think for the price, this works. This works. So if you can snag it on sale, cool. I'll try to leave a link to it in the description, but I do know it constantly does go in and out of being on sale, so sometimes the page isn't always available, so I'll try to link it in the description. So that's going to end the video right there. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed. I know this took a long time to get together, but stuff happens. And honestly, the last face shell review, while it did pretty good overall, it didn't do as well as the suits do, which is expected, but it didn't do as well as I was kind of hoping that it would. I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember feeling that when I released it 7 months ago. So, but anyways, you can check out the Marvel Spider-Man suit review. That's already up on the channel if you are interested in that. And then you can check out the last video of the Spider-Verse suit review. So if you are interested in those videos, I believe they should be somewhere on the screen, somewhere around here, or I'll leave I don't know, it's the end of the video. I'm just rambling at this point. Go join the Discord. Go say hi, have some fun. Go have some. We're not too active in there, but when we are, we have a lot of fun doing it. And if you like to financially support the channel, go support me on Coffee. You can donate as much as you want. It's not like I'm not planning on opening a Patreon at the moment until I actually have a schedule for videos. But if you just want to drop a little something my way, that would be appreciated. Anyways, I'm going to end the video right here. Love y'all. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one.